All right, hello. So this is going to be lesson 8 of the Math UC Algebra book, page 93. Okay, so we're going to step in. It says identify the slope and intercept for each equation, then draw the line corresponding to the equation. Okay, so it gives us the equation y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Okay, so easiest way to do this is to make a table. So I'm going to make a table with some x and y coordinates on it. I can choose whichever ones I want, and I'm going to input them into this equation. I'm going to rewrite this equation a little bit bigger so we can see it. Okay, so we have y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Okay, so if I pick the point 0 for x, that means I'm going to go up to my equation and put 0 in for x. So y would equal 1/4 times 0 minus 2. Okay, that's basically just going to tell us that y equals 1/4 times 0 minus 2. Y equals minus 2 then, okay? So that is a point. Let's pick another point. If I pick 1 for x, okay, and I go ahead and put that into my equation up there, it's going to tell me a y value. Okay, so 1/4 times 1 is 1/4. Okay, 1/4 minus 2 is going to give me a negative number. So if I do this off to the side, 1/4 minus 2, okay, I would have to find a common denominator, which is going to be 4. So this would stay the same, times 4 times 4. So 1 minus 8 would be a negative 7/4, okay? So negative 7/4, which is the same as negative 1 3/4. So my y would be negative 1 3/4. Okay, if I pick another point, you only need 2 points to make a line, but I'm going to pick a little bit easier point. If we do, so watch this, if we do 4 for x, okay, it's going to make this a little bit easier. So that's going to make my equation be y equals 1/4 times 4 minus 2. Okay, if you multiply 1/4 by 4, look what happens. You can cancel these out. This becomes 1, this becomes 1. So now you got y equals 1 minus 2, which is a negative 1. Makes it a little bit easier, takes your fractions away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead over to my graph and I'm going to plot these points. So I got 0, negative 2, so 0, negative 1, 2 right here. I got 1, negative 1 3/4, so 1, negative 1 3/4. It's going to be like right about here. And I got 4, negative 1. So if I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, down negative 1. Okay, here is my line. Okay, it's going to look something like that. Okay, now we're going to find out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. Well, we can see that our line is crossing the y vertical axis at negative 2. You can also tell just by looking at your equation, negative 2. That's going to be your y-intercept. Okay, now we got to find the slope. Also looking at the equation, you can tell the slope is always the number that is in front of x, which is 1/4 in this equation. Okay, it's a positive slope because we can see our line is going left to right, up and to the right. X is getting bigger as it goes on. Okay, so there you go. That is going to be the line and the slope and the equation. If we go down to number 2, okay, looking at the equation, we got y equals negative x plus 2. Right away, we know our slope is going to be a negative 1, okay, because there's a negative 1 in front of that x. And we know our y-intercept is going to be 2, okay? So really, you don't even have to make a table for this one. If you look at the y-intercept and put it at 2, right there, okay, the slope is negative 1, right? So remember, slope equals rise over run. Okay, so if I go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. That's going to be my line. Okay, it's going to look something like this. All right, so you know the slope is going down, and it's the slope of -1, and your y-intercept is 2, and your line should be looking like that. Okay, if we go to the next one, we just have y equals -2, right? So there's no slope on this one. So we would have a slope of 0. If we have y equals -2, okay, it's going to be a, remember what I said about a horizontal line? Horizontal line, you're going to have a slope of 0. Your y-intercept's -2, and that's what it's going to look like. Okay, moving on. We got y equals 3/5 x plus 1. Once again, we know the slope is the number in front of x, so 3/5. Our slope, or I'm sorry, y-intercept is going to be 1. Okay, so now we can graph that. Let's graph our y-intercept of 1 right here. Slope is rise over run. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Okay, you can connect these 2 points. There's my line. Okay, so you're getting the hang of this, right? Let's look at number 5. Y equals x. Okay, so this one might look a little bit confusing, but if we make a table, right, we got our x value, we got our y value. If y equals x, 1, 1, 2, 2. So now you know the points. Look, so we go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 2, up 2. Our line is going to go right through the origin. Okay, which means our y-intercept is going to be 0. Our slope is going to be, if you go up 1 over 1, we're going to have a slope of 1. Remember, there's always, if you just have an x, there's always an invisible 1 right in front of it, right? So it's really 1x, but we don't write it like that in mathematics, okay? And another one. So if we have x equals -3, okay? So if we find the x, -3, 1, 2, 3, right here. Okay, this time it's going to be a vertical line going right through 3. Okay. When we have a vertical line, remember the slope is going to be undefined because you cannot divide by 0. Okay, because if we look at rise over run, if we had a point, right, we would have a point here, 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 and it keeps going on and on right above, right? Our rise would equal 1 because it's going up each time. Our run, though, it doesn't go left or right. So our run would be 0. You can't divide by 0, right? So it'd be undefined as a slope. Okay, our y-intercept, there is no y-intercept on this one because it does not cross this y-axis at any point. So you're going to say 0. Okay, if we go down to page 90, that was 94. Great. Okay, so that is basically all we were looking at in these two. You're identifying the slope of each equation, then drawing a line corresponding to the equation. All right, 8b is going to be pretty similar. Looking through here, right? And then 8c, we will get into some tables, kind of like we were just doing. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you tomorrow.